Alright, this is the M1 Carbine complete trigger housing disassembly and reassembly. The only tool I'm going to use is the operating spring guide for this entire process. First thing you gotta do, make sure the hammer is all the way in the forward position. If it's not, it's going to look like that. Don't let it slam forward. It makes dents in the sides. Point it away from you. You're putting the op rod guide in the hole. You can see just a little bit in, pulling back and away to the right, slowly releasing the pressure. You do that for safety reasons. Okay, plunger comes out of the hammer spring. Take the hammer pin out of the hammer is going to release. Take the guide. I push from the right to the left with my pins. There goes the sear. There's the sear spring. Pull the trigger pin out. I take the trigger and I'll move it forward towards the safety. You can look inside. Little click. Keep going forward. There goes the spring. There's the trigger. Now, one of the hardest parts is you're going to take out the mag catch and the safety. This little hole, there's a little notch in the plunger that's attached to the spring. And you're going there and you're just going to pull back on it with the pointy end. Put a little pressure on the mag catch over here. Bringing it back, lightly releasing it. When you do this, put your thumb over here in the front of the plunger. When you pull the mag catch out, just to make sure you catch that, magazine catches out, plunger safety assembly, magazine plunger, and your safety. That's a complete stripped Winchester M2 housing. Now to reassemble, just going to go backwards the same way we went. If it's a lever safety, it's going to be on the right hand side. When I reassemble it and I take the plunger assembly, when I put it in, I just put a little bit of pressure on it, and what I'm looking for is the seating right in there. See how it clicked in? You can see where it is now. It's not falling out. Magazine catch, spring and plunger assembly. Magazine catch away from you, just like the hammer plunger. And we're going to push down from the front, away from your eyes. Just going to catch that. Push it all the way in until it engages. Sometimes you have to straighten out the plunger here. It caught and you can hear it click. Works fine. Safety works fine. Okay. Next thing is the trigger and the trigger spring. I start putting the trigger in. This is also without the trigger spring tool. Just have just enough clearance. Well, catch the lip. Put the coils just in there with my thumb over it still. Now I'm pushing in and down. In and down this way. Lining the holes up from the right hand side. I'm putting the trigger pin in just ever so slightly, maybe. You can see it right there. Make sure it's out of the way. Sear spring. Sear spring's in there. It's a little hard of an angle for you. Sear's down there, sitting in there. I put my thumb over it. right where the pin is, I take the hammer. I use that as a catch on the bottom of the sear, and I move it backward sometimes. Oh, it's going to be a pain, see? There we go. Maybe. Of course, I do the whole video. Here we go. Pulling it back, I'm aligning the holes. Bring the pin all the way through while I'm still holding the hammer. Putting it in from right to left. Pull the trigger, make it catch the sear. Brings the hammer forward. All pins are in. Hammer plunger and the spring. Sometimes with the recess hole, I put the spring so that the largest part is to the left. Again, away from you, I hold the spring. So if the plunger goes flying, at least I hold on to the spring all together. There's a genuine M2 Winchester trigger housing disassembly and reassembly. And then see the other videos for the functions check.